And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Race is presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with our odds maker, Keith Fustel. We're live here at the historic Laurel Park paddock to get you going on the three-day race weekend. First race post time today is at 1:10, and we have lots to get to. A great show today. We're going to talk about the Preakness winner, Cloud Computing. He's back in action this weekend in the Jim Dandy up there at Saratoga. We have a nice carryover in a pick six today. Kids Day is tomorrow. Lots of fun for the kids here tomorrow in the Crab Feast on Sunday. But first, let's show you the Preakness champion. He's going to square off against the Kentucky Derby winner, always streaming this Saturday in the Grade 2 Jim Dandy. There's Cloud Computing. This is his win, his upset win over Classic Empire in the Preakness. So your thoughts in the Jim Dandy?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, we haven't seen these two horses, since the Preakness. Shorter field. There looks like kind of a speed factor in there with Pavel, who's run one time for Doug O'Neill coming west to east, and we've seen him pull this off before, coming out from Santa Anita. Big race in 97 Buyer. First time out, took a lot of pressure and kicked away. So, yeah, always dreaming. He's going to have to be on the top of his game, kind of down inside. Will he be able to kind of rate back off of this horse and make another move? Cloud Computing looks like he's moving in the right direction. Kind of was against the grain of the racetrack leading into that Preakness race, the big effort there. So, yeah, should be good. Short field. I like Cloud Computing back. I think he's moving the right way.
I'll root on the Preakness
for the Baltimore horse.
Yeah, I'll root on the Preakness champion. Anytime you can get the Preakness winner to square off with the Kentucky Derby winner, that's going to be one of the top 3-year-old races in the year. And another big 3-year-old race is this Sunday, of course, with Irish Warcry in the Haskell up there at Monmouth.
Yeah, I haven't dug too deep, but I know that's a nice competitive field. They were happy with what they've got, the way it lined up. Obviously, Irish Warcry, some ties to Monmouth Park with
New Jersey
the owner. Yeah, so that should be a really good race. I'm going to dig in that a little bit deeper tonight.
All right, well, let's get right to the action here today. Nice carryover in the Rainbow Pick 6. Let's show you that. It's a little over 6,100 in that Rainbow Pick 6 carryover today. That starts in race 5 on our 10-race program. No carryovers in the Super High 5 or the Late Pick 5, but nice carryover in the Rainbow Pick 6. $6,154. That starts in race 5 today. And, the big story right now, Keith, I love the card today. We had 6 races on our world-class turf course today, a bunch of big fields, but the rain is coming down. We are off the turf today, and we just got that word a couple minutes before we started here this morning. So there's going to be a bunch of scratches trickling in here as we do the show.
We're just going to have to kind of adjust on the fly here, unfortunately. I was hoping, we could hang on for a couple more hours. We did not. The rain is coming down pretty substantially in Laurel and the surrounding areas, so we'll get through this card. We do have, I guess, 4 races that were already scheduled for the dirt, 6 on the turf that are coming off the grass course. So, we will adjust. Scratches will be coming in quickly, I'm sure. But, we'll get to it here.
Get your mud handicapping skills out here. Let's show you what's coming up this weekend. Tomorrow, it's Kids Day, fun for the little ones out here. We're going to have pony rides, petting zoo, airbrush tattoo artists, crafts, and more. It's free admission to all the activities. Lots of fun for the kids tomorrow. In addition to all the Kids Day activities, you can watch real jockeys race on inflatable roadie ponies. You can make a minimum $5 donation to the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund, and if your favorite jockey wins, you will be entered into a drawing for a chance to win some awesome prizes. So iPad, $100 gift certificate, a bunch of good prizes if you can help support the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. That's tomorrow along with Kids Day. I know you're the odds maker for the horses here. Phoebe Hayes had me do the morning line for the Roadie Pony Jockey Dash tomorrow. This is going to be fun after the 4th race tomorrow to benefit the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Funds. I made Sheldon Hurricane Carter Russell the 2-1 morning line favorite.
All right. Yeah, we talked last week. I like Acosta. You've got him lined at 3. I think that's a square price on JD Acosta.
Yeah, returns from layoff. Good to see him back here in Maryland. All right, so that's tomorrow. Good fun with the Kids Day tomorrow. And then Sunday, the big Laurel Park Crab Feast on the apron from 1 to 5. You can stuff your face with delicious Maryland fresh, hot Maryland steamed blue crabs here Sunday at Laurel Park. It's $65 for a ticket. All the crabs you can eat. cold beer, soda, a bunch of other good food on the menu. You buy your tickets early, you get a Haskell hat. So live racing, the Haskell Sunday Laurel Park Crab Feast. On the apron, it'll be underneath a tent, and the weather's looking perfect for Sunday, I think. 82, clear and sunny.
Get this rain out of here and get us some steamed crabs. I know Jack Harmon had a little prep the other day, I heard, over at his house.
You need a little prep for the crab feast. Either they're going to bring them here, they're going to steam them live on site. They're going to be hot, delicious Maryland steamed crabs. So that's Sunday. Big party Sunday and Kids Day Saturday. It's going to be a great weekend here at Laurel Park. Coming up Saturday, August 5th, the Virginia Bread's coming back to town here at Laurel Park. 4 $75,000 stakes Saturday, August 5th. The Hansel Stakes, the William Backer, a couple other ones. The Virginia Bred people, they'll be coming up to support this. This will be a big day. Any day you have 4 stake races, that's going to be a big day.
Oh, yeah. When we talked about it, they'll come up in droves from Virginia. It'll be nice. And the Hansel Stakes, talking about that was Dave Rodman's first Preakness call.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how far for Hansel, if I remember correctly.
He won by like 10, didn't he?
He won clear. Oh, yeah. Hit another gear, leaving a 3/16 to the wire. Yeah, he widened nicely.
All right, so 4 nice stake races for you Saturday, August 5th here at Laurel Park. Let's get right to the action here. Lots to get to here in the opener. We're off the turf today. We showed you the track conditions. It's raining pretty good right now, and there's a lot of rain in the forecast for today and tomorrow. So look for the mutters here today and tomorrow at Laurel Park. Race 1. Do we have anything else to show you before we get to race 1, guys? Okay, early pick 5. Early pick 5 will start in race 1. I had a ticket, but I'm not going to show you the ticket because we're off the turf and a bunch of scratches are going to be coming in. Super high 5 every race with 7 or more betting interest. Low 15% takeout on that super high 5. And the early pick 5 is an industry low 12% takeout. Mandatory payout on the early pick 5. Now, don't sleep on this early pick 5. You might have 10, 15,000 in there and get an upset in one of these fields that comes off the turf, and you get the whole pool. It's a mandatory payout on the early pick 5. So race 1 was originally carded for 2 turns on the grass. This race will come back. Won't be a mile and a 16th on the dirt. Won't be a mile
on the main track.
Okay.
Also, the earliest scratch was the 8, St. Abbey. We have a later scratch here, number 7, Tarkia. Take out the 7 and the 8 in today's first race.
All right, we'll go 1 mile on the main track, and track rated as good right now, but with the rain coming down, what do you think for first race?
Sealed, good to muddy. Yeah, I would think, no doubt.
Okay, all right, so rain is an issue today here at Laurel Park. 1 mile on an off track here for the opener, claiming 11,000 filly mares, 3 and up. My top pick here was Participate. Now Participate got clobbered in the last time on the mud on a main track, so this horse probably is not going to be my top pick here today. Just kind of looking through the card, I think I'll probably go with the 6 disqualified from the Darian Rodriguez barn. Daniel Centeno aboard. I'll go with the 6. My top pick has some good form on an off track.
Agree. There's some speed to the inside. Enigma kind of was sent out last time and was engaged early when Riverwalk Weekend went ahead and went on the attack. These two got tangled up through pretty good internal fractures. I think Enigma's pace, Participate, likes to be forward on the dirt. Yeah, sets it up. Disqualified, proven on the off track, a win in a couple seconds. Should get a stalking trip. Babe's ruler shouldn't be hampered at all with the transition. It's one of these deals now. It's like we should have moving chicklets down at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. See what we had early in this, like the shell game or something that they got at the Oriole game. But
all right.
Yeah, disqualified right now, or Babe's ruler would be my top selection.
Don't sleep on the early pick 5. It'll have about 10,000 in there, and you might have some upsets in some of these small fields that come off the turf. You get an 8-1 or 10-1 shot home on the early pick 5. You take down the whole pool. If you don't get 5 out of 5, if nobody hits it for 5 out of 5, then that's still a mandatory payout 4 out of 5.
And we see it time and time again on days like this. You know, 1 or 2 of the big singles go down.
Yep.
And you're saying, should have played it. Shorter fields, and that's what they do. They line up, try to pound a ticket with 1 or 2 singles. They get beat. All of a sudden, instead of like you think it's going to be a $200 or $300 pick 5, turns into $1,000, $1,500. So, as you said, don't sleep on the pick 5s, the pick 4s, because they can pay off handsomely on days like this when one or two of these heavy favorites go down.
All right, so the early pick 5 starts in race 1, 1 mile on the main track. Good now, might be muddy come the opener. Let's turn the page. Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4, and this race originally carded on the main track, going 1 mile, claiming 5,000. Never won 2 lifetime here, and I'm going to go with the 4, Horseshoe Harbor. My top pick, Katie Davis, aboard for trainer Dorothy Wharton. A nice win 3 starts ago when this 3-year-old gelding broke his maiden at Pimlico, going 2 turns against maiden 10. Then they tried the turf. That didn't go well. The horse is 0 for 2 on the turf, and then just threw a clunker his last race. Now he drops to the nickel 2 life with the good ride and hard trying Katie Davis. I like the 7-2 here on my top pick, the 4 Horseshoe Harbor.
I know one gentleman who's not really too upset that the rain came. Gary Quill, part owner in this Wasabi Ventures stables, talked about it. Said, yeah, a little bit of rain won't hurt at all.
Sure.
This horse really was hampered by a bad break last time, stumbled in a little bit tight, and then the jock just kind of took a rating hold. I don't mind that. Made a nice little middle move before flattening out. I think Katie Davis will go ahead and take the initiative with a good break today. Might take a little bit of pressure from Regal Expectations. Horseshoe Harbor, though, loves to run second. You see that 5 seconds out of 7 tries at this. I think Alarming got the confidence up, even overcame some trouble last time at Penn National. I know the number's not that great, but proven on a wet track. I think with a cleaner trip, he's had some close calls with Horseshoe Harbor. Maybe wears him down late. Just the red-hot Claudio Gonzalez going 3-4-1 in here. I think Feel Proud will improve. Really strong jockey-trainer combination. Kieran McGee and Gonzalez.
The Gonzalez barn, red hot. You talk about Delacour with a big weekend last weekend. Don't forget about Claudio Gonzalez.
No.
He's hitting about 34% here
sick.
for the summer meet. So I respect the 3. I use that runner in my top 4. We both like the 8 a little bit as well here on the outside. Invisible Crown for Charlie Frock. J.D. Acosta aboard. Turf to Dirt, the barn with a nice positive ROI. So let's see if this horse can get back in good form. 0 for 2 on an off track, an okay 4th last out on a sloppy track at this level of Pimlico 3 races ago. An okay 4th that day with the 50 speed buyer. J.D. Acosta aboard today. Should be right there, I think, maybe at a decent price.
Just a kind of a stayer. He fits at this level. He's okay at the distance. He just kind of grinds it out. And as we see on days like this track can favor slightly, to the outside horses. So kind of watch the situation first couple races, but I think he'll just make a steady progression into it. Will be a price user. I don't know if he's going to get up, but I think he's a price user underneath.
All right, so race 2 kicks off the early. Pick 4. Race 3 was on the turf. We're off the turf today, so we'll be going a mile on the main track here for race 3. This is a nice 75 of 100 starter allowance race for filly and mares, and my best bet of the day. It was the 8-piece prize, but this horse looks like she is all turf for Mary Epler. Last time this horse ran on an off track, when they took it off the turf, she got beat by 40 lengths. That was against 2 other than Allowance Company, though. I don't see who knows if she'll stay in. Probably won't stay in. Have you guys heard on the 8 there in race 3? Nothing yet. So we're waiting on scratches here for the 3rd. Who's your pick with the off track?
I think with the off track, the way things are going to kind of set up, seeing and believing, probably the controlling speed. But Lucy's Revenge, talk about a little bit of luck.
Yeah,
I didn't really kind of care for this horse on the turf, but
gotta like her now.
Thomas Vance, he may have been a meteorologist at one point of his career, and finds a wet track. This horse 5 of 6 in the money with a couple of wins, comes up from Churchill. Yeah,
that's my top
one
pick.
of these two. They just kind of line up. Two goes, gets the lead. The 5 stalks and bounces. It looks like to me.
All right, we're off the turf. I love the 5. Lucy's Revenge there with Scott Spieth aboard. So the 5 will be my top pick in race 3. Let's turn the page. Race 4 going to kick off the middle. Pick 4, originally carded on the main track, going 6 furlongs. Maiden claiming 16,000 for 3-year-olds and upward here. And I go to the outside. The 9, I think, getting a big class relief because the 8 Rarefied Air is going to be the favorite once again, but I can't put this horse on top. The beaten favorite his last 3 starts, so I'll use him in my exacta, but I think the 9 Distorted Windfall getting a class relief today, dropping from maiden special weight at Charlestown to the maiden 16 here. Not too much of a drop, but second off a long layoff. Kevin Gomez aboard. I'll go with the 9 over the 8 here in race 4.
Yeah, ran behind Copper Wire. It was a horse that was like around 0 for maybe 15 or 20 around here. Ran okay, maiden specials, maiden 35s. Finally went to Charlestown, got the job done. Rarefied Air, I tried to beat Claudia I went against Wazala, was that a week or 2 ago, and Wazala just absolutely ran one of the biggest races, if not the biggest race of its career. I think Rarefied Air is just poised. A better break today. Stumbled last time out, a clean break. This horse right on the engine. If Distorted Windfall wants to go, go ahead. I think he can sit just off of and get done. Looking for a long shot. How about the 5, Charlie DeMario? We saw Charlie DeMario walking in here today.
Guys, do we have scratches in race 4? Sorry, Keith.
Yeah, okay.
Do we have scratches in race 4? Okay, yeah, go ahead and put the picks up if we can, please. I'm 9-8-4-3 in race 4. Keith, who are you? There we go.
Race 4.
There we go. Here we go. Now we're
9.
clicking. All right, all right. Who do you have here?
Yeah, I'm going to go at Rarefied Air. I'm going to chase the chalk, but I think the price playing here is the 5, Valid Redeemer. Stallion is by Valid Appeal, one of the best off-track stallions you'll ever see.
Right.
Love the Valid Appeals on an off-track. The blinkers go on. This horse just has to kind of maintain form. The 2-back try was good enough. Super Buddy and Next Out winner. A little drop here for Valid Redeemer, and the New York bred I think hits the board.
Charlie DeMario, he wins every now and then. They pay a nice price when he gets the money. So I overlooked that one, but that one will be a nice price. We're both well, you have the 8 on top there. I'll throw the 4 in there. Cowboy Chrome, first time gelding here for trainer Finnica Bentley, coming off a long layoff. Had a couple good races down there at Gulfstream. A good second in the slop a long time ago. First time gelding today here for this 3-year-old by Forest Street.
Yeah, didn't know what to do. Finnica Bentley got a win in the Fagentry race the other day.
Yep.
Wilco's Golden Eye I'm going to use. Really kind of got sucked back along the inside last time out, dropped way back. Once this horse got to the outside, finished kind of with a flourish for the maiden 10 level. This is no real step up, kind of a lateral move to the 16 today. The blinkers go on. This horse has been a little bit tough to ride. Maybe the focus with the blinkers will help, and is proven on an off-track. Top buyer, lifetime buyer, was a 52, and that was on an off surface.
All right, you'll have a heavy favorite there in race 4 to kick off that middle pick 4. Do you single on that one, or do you try to beat Rarefied Air there in the 4th? So we'll see what happens as we let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about today's Rainbow Pick 6, talk about the rain. The rain is coming down pretty good here today at Laurel Park, and more rain in the forecast. So we're off the turf today, so adjust your handicapping. Main track rated as good. Might be muddy come first race. It's the rain coming down pretty good, but still nice carryover in that Rainbow Pick 6, a little over 6,100. We'll start with that when we come back. The best bets at Laurel Park are the Pick 5s, and we have 2 of them. The early Pick 5 starts in race 1 and is a mandatory payout. The late Pick 5 is the last 5 races of the day and has carryover potential. Both Pick 5s at Laurel Park have an industry-low 12% takeout. The Pick 5s at Laurel Park, your best bet. Welcome back, Laurel Park, here today at the races here at Laurel Park. I'm Stanton Salter along with Keith Fustel. The rain is coming down. We're off the turf today, so adjust your handicapping, but still a nice carryover here. Don't sleep on this carryover today. A little over 6,100 in that Rainbow Pick 6.
And the good thing is, at least we know now if we could have got a couple races in and they take them off, probably would have been refunded if I'm not mistaken.
Sure, yeah.
So we're keeping this Pick 6 intact. Now we're going to have some scratches down the line, but you can still go ahead and attack it. And like I say, don't let it slip away. 6,100 in the pool, a couple grand will go into it, and you're going to get aided. You're going to be able to kind of shorten things up a little bit with the scratches. Beat a couple of these heavy favorites because we're going to have them.
Sure, yeah.
You still could be the lone ticket.
Let's take a look here. Race 5. It was originally carded 5.5 furlongs on the bowl game, so it'll be on the main track, 5.5 furlongs. Maiden claiming 40,000 for 2-year-old fillies. We caught up with a couple trainers in this race. Trainer Hammy Smith has a first-time starter and a second-time starter in this race. The 6, Still Sexy at 60, a first-timer by Girolamo. Horacio Caramanos aboard, and also Hammy has the 8, Hard Rockin' Blues, a decent 4th in her debut by Great Notion. She's making her second career start today with Jevion Toledo aboard. Let's see what Hammy Smith had to say about the 2 fillies he has here in race 5.
Well, her last work was very good, and we think she's bred for the grass. The way she moves, she's kind of got a little high action, so that indicates she might need a little grass. So hopefully that's what she'll run well over.
And how about the other filly you have in here, Hard Rockin' Blues? How's she doing?
Well, she's already had one race over the turf, so I look forward to improve on that. And they worked in company last week, and they had a good work, these 2 fillies. And if she improves, she'll be on the board. She'll run good.
Okay, so Hammy was talking about both of his fillies thinking they'll be running on the grass. However, so we're not running on the grass. However, he did mention that last work. They both worked together, the 6 and the 8 here in race 5. The 6 worked a half, 48 and 4, and same time for the 8, 48 and 4. So that was a nice half-mile work July 21st here at Laurel Park. That was the third fastest work out of 31 works at the distance that morning. So I think Hammy Smith loaded with a couple nice fillies in here. I used the 6 in my exacto.
I don't think he's really crying that these races came off the
Right.
turf. Both of them, you see, still sexy at 60. Really sharp work. I know we're going back a couple months, a 37 and 4 out of the gate at Ellery. It's a sharp work down there on that heavier surface. 1 of 40. Boys were busy down there in South Carolina that day.
They get a lot of horses.
40 works.
And Hammy trains during the rain, so these horses they've had some experience in the morning on and off track.
No doubt. They've had experience. They get out there in their sets. They do a really, really good job down there. And, either one works with the breeding. I would see the 8-horse improving off of that first turf race. And the 4 Ephesians 6, though, for Ness, it is first time Ness. He's trying to heat things back up. He's been on a little bit of a cold streak in Maryland, but the experience could pay off second time. Lasix, first time in the barn. But, I just, unfortunately, this race transferred. We don't have a whole lot of notes for this race.
Well, you have a nice first-timer on top here. The 2, Dancing with Painter, 9-2 morning line. Sheldon Russell aboard for trainer Cal Lynch. Cal Lynch having a big summer, 31% here. He's had a couple nice debut winners. He has a positive ROI with his first-time starters. It's a well-bred filly by Painter out of an exchange rate mare. Some nice works here at Laurel Park, including a decent work from the gate in the mud. July 2nd, a half mile in the mud, 50 from the gate for the 2, Dancing with Painter. We caught up with trainer Cal Lynch Thursday morning talking about this first-time starter.
She's been training really forward. Charlie Biggs bought her at the sale there in Ocala, and she's done everything right so far. We're just hopeful that the weather holds off. We want to try her on the turf and see where she goes. But she's done everything right so far. But turf's a little bit of a question mark with these babies right now. So she worked well over the poly track, so we're hoping she does well.
All right, so that was trainer Cal Lynch in his Fighting Irish Notre Dame hat. He was hoping for the turf as well, but this filly does have a decent work on and off track, so that she does have that in her advantage.
And one thing, just gathering some stuff from the turf notes, Dancing for Glory, the mother. She was 6 for 9 in the money, 2 for 9 on the grass. But the one key for her, she ran big first time out at Saratoga. So a proven mare against some good company. Painter, newer stallion. So we'll have to watch that. Ruby's Fire the outside. Talk about breeding top and bottom for a little bit of a wet track. Ruby's Fire for Salzman.
That's my
another
top
one
pick.
to keep. Yeah. So.
By algorithms, we know they can win early. The sire of recruiting ready. So I like the breeding here of the 9. Ruby's Fire, some nice a couple 5 furlong works, including from the gate. Most recently, Katie Davis aboard. Lasix in debut. I like the outside post. John Salzman Jr. We know he can win with one. He already scored with a first out winner this year here at Laurel. So I like the 9. Ruby's Fire at a decent price there in race 5. Let's turn the page. Race 6 will kick off that late pick 5. No carryover today, but as always, more money back to you, the better, with that industry low 12% takeout on the late pick 5. It starts in race 6 today. This race originally carded going 1 mile on the main track. Nice 5,000 starter allowance for 3-year-olds and upward here. And we have a couple video spotlights. Let's take a look here at your top pick, the 110 Hunt. Here's his nice win coming from off the pace here at Laurel, July 14th.
Yeah, we're going to pick this horse up. Drew the rail that day and was absolutely stopped cold, guys. We can pick it up number 1 at a nice healthy 11-1 for trainer Gina Rosenthal in the No Guts, No Glory stable. And Victor Carrasco just kind of had to tap the brakes for an extended period of time from the half to the 3/8, and then coming into the lane. Is that rail opening going to happen? Maybe not quite. Not really accelerating as quickly as he might, but boy, just gets completely shut off, has to check sharply. The race is over, Stan. This horse has no chance.
Sure.
He's 4 lengths behind. All of a sudden, new life. And he only goes with about 1 crack of the downturn right stick, and all of a sudden this horse really accelerates and goes past some horses, maybe laboring a little bit. That track really changed, Stan, because of the rain. It got a little bit heavy. He ran by them like they were standing still. He's just an improving type. I don't think this is, this move here from the allowance to the starter. Some proven routers. North Ocean really likes this racetrack. But 10 Hut, being able to overcome what he did last time on a similar type of surface of what he's going to get today, I take him as a better shot in race number 6.
I like him. I use him in my exacts. That was a nice win last out. You're getting Victor Carrasco, the leading rider. Again, he's been winning on nothing but nice price winners, and you're getting 9-2 here on the 1-10 Hut. I don't like the 6 North Ocean at all. I think that horse was in good form, and they tried the turf. They went up to Delaware. I just think he's falling apart. I don't like the 6 North Ocean at all.
Okay.
He'll be one of the favorites in race 6. My top pick, let's take a look here at Goodbye, See You Later. This was his win back on July 1st here at Laurel Park for the red-hot Claudio Gonzalez. This was against 7,500 beaten claimers going a mile in a 16th. He wins by 6 3/4 going away. It was the second win in a row for this 6-year-old who's made over $160,000. This horse 7 for 9 in the money here at Laurel with 2 wins. He loves this 1-mile distance. He's 4 for 7 on an off track with a win. Kevin Gomez will stay aboard. I love the 7 here. Goodbye, see you later, especially on an off track.
Yeah, this is interesting. You got a horse. He didn't really have to be worked too hard on the front end last time. Got away with just snail-like fractions, 25-2, 49 and change, then picked it up and ran away from the field. But he's got a shipper coming in here in the likes of the 3 Harlington Knight for Tim Kreiser. He's got 1 race over this racetrack, ran an 86 buyer. All of a sudden, the light has really gone on the last couple of races. Horses running mid-70 numbers against OK Company up at Penn National. I don't know if Goodbye See You Later can really shake this horse. I think these two kind of get tangled up at one point. I think they hang around. I just think it sets it up nicely for 10 Hut.
Well, Harlington Knight, 1 for 1 here at Laurel Park, 6 for 6 in the money on an off track with 3 wins, 4-time winner going a mile. Edwin Gonzalez, a good ride and jockey. Edwin Gonzalez is 34% from a 102 horse sampling, 34% with a positive ROI when he rides for Tim Kreiser. Kreiser, he's won 81 races this year. This is a winning outfit. You have to respect him anywhere they show up. So I like the 3. I use that one in my top 3. I throw the 4 Senor Quickie in the mix as well. Going to make a late rally. Senor Quickie with a nice form on an off track for Annette Eubanks. So that's a nice nickel starter going a mile on the main track there in race 6. That's going to kick off the late pick 5. Late pick 4 starts in race 7. This was originally carded on the turf, so we're off the turf, 5.5 furlongs on an off track. Maiden claiming 40,000. Filly mares 3 and up. The 9 was my top pick in here. Lily Bay, I believe, is the 9 still in there, guys? First-time starter from the Mary Epler barn. The 9 is still in there. First-time starter by Pure Prize out of an elusive quality mares, Virginia-bred, homebred for Joy Thompson. Some nice 5 furlong works over there at Pimlico. And most recently, a nice bullet half-mile work from the gate, July 23rd at Pimlico. 47-1. That's pretty quick. That was on a good racetrack. So now we're getting a good racetrack here today. Maybe money. Lasix in debut. I think lots of positives here with the 9, Lily Bay, for a winning outfit first time out.
Yeah, no doubt. This horse has to be respected. No Love Lost just seems a little bit better on the turf course. That's the 5 horse. Was the tepid morning line favorite. I think Choby Girl you've got to use. They protected this horse after a trouble beginning in its debut. Really made a nice run. Stepped up to 40 this level last time. Another good race for trainer Tim Keefe. I think she's going to be clearly one of the horses to beat. Thirsty Madam, now it's on the dirt. I don't know about her. The Moonshine Lullaby, certainly by Blame out of a Came Home mare. First time claim for Kieran.
Yep.
I know the Lasix doesn't go on. Really had a brutal trip in debut. Broke slow pinch and came with a 7-wide run to only get beaten by a horse that was, I believe, dropping off of some time. So Moonshine Lullaby fits. It could be very dangerous. I don't mind. I actually like this horse better on the main track than the turf in this field, believe it or not.
It'll be interesting to see who stays in. The 5, No Love Lost, a good second in the mud at Laurel Park against Maiden 40. That was last May here.
Yeah.
So maybe that horse for Jason Egan. Jason Egan barn been red hot. Katie Davis on the 5, No Love Lost. We'll see who stays in after the scratches come in there for race 7.
Sales horse too in there. Stan Conjecture entered for the main track only. He got what he wanted with this filly by Great Notion. So yeah, she's going to be setting sail from the outside.
All right, we'll see who stays in race 7 there. Race 8 going to kick off the late pick 3. This race originally carded on the main track, going 5 furlongs. Maiden claiming 40,000 for 2-year-old fillies here, and I go with the 8, my top pick, Jumping Michelle. We have a video spotlight here on this 2-year-old filly by Jumpstart for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. Blinkers on today. Victor Carrasco stays aboard. Here was the break from the debut race.
Yeah, we've got the break stand, and she comes away pretty cleanly and actually flashes some decent speed. Not quite quick enough to go on with the front runners, but good enough to get position. But here's where the trouble starts, Dan. You see the 2-horse in between horses had that speed vied, got in a little bit tight, and had to steady. Well, Little Green Jumping Michelle reacted to that. Jock had to steady Victor Carrasco, and this horse got out wide. But what I like is when she drops down inside against the grain of the racetrack, she starts picking it up and then angles out probably right around mid-stretch. I've got 3/16, pretty much the 8th bowl. She really straightens away and finishes with decent energy the last 16th of a mile. Jumping Michelle, I thought we were going to get a little price. Comes into the picture there late. You like her. I like her. I don't know if Ty picked her or not, but I think she's ready to roll with the blinkers on. Claudio, not really a guy that runs a lot of first-time starters, doesn't deal a lot with 2-year-olds. I'm sure as the barn expands, he might get some more.
Sure.
Jumping Michelle, she showed that gate speed. The blinker is on. I like her on this outside post. Thought she was going to be a price today. She's going to come down off of that 8-1, especially with the scratch of the 3 Bell and Tonic.
All right, yeah, I like the 3, but
Yeah.
the 3 is out, so we're both on the 8, Jumping Michelle in this race. How about the filly on the outside for trainer Michael Trombetta, the 9 rose-colored by? Congrats, they paid $75,000 for this filly at Keeneland when she was a yearling out of an El Prado mare. Some nice work, some bullet half-mile work on the synthetic at Fair Hill. Forrest Boyce aboard. Trombetta with a positive ROI with his first-time starters. Forrest Boyce and Trombetta, they've been doing pretty well together. I like the outside post here on the 9. You like that filly a little bit as well.
I used her in there a little bit. Grease Lightning, I think you can kind of take a look at. I'm just going to key around Jumping Michelle. She's going to have to be first or second. I'll maybe go back and dig a little bit deeper in the breeding on this race, but the all-track breeding. But I'm really keyed up for this horse. I think she runs a big one today.
All right, race 9, a nice starter allowance to kick off the late daily double. It was originally carded on the turf. Will be 5.5 furlongs on the main track here for race 9. 25,000 starter allowance, optional claiming 25,000. We have a couple of we have one video spotlight. These horses coming out of the same race. We don't know if they're staying in yet, but we believe they're still in. The 3 Standard Deal and the 6 La Morette. I go 6-3, the exacta for here. If we have the spotlight, let's show it from July 14th here for Standard Deal in La Morette.
Yeah, Standard Deal. They went awfully quick early. 21-2, 43-4, much quicker internals than another race of maybe a little bit better quality that day. And Standard Deal just unfortunately gets softened up a little bit, gets the lead, goes clear into the stretch. But La Morette, you'll see, was wide every step of the way chasing. Now that this race has been taken off the turf and transferred to the main track, La Morette, the dirt race, 2 dirt races are very suspect. Standard Deal, though, can handle a track, can handle a wet track. Has run okay on the main track with a 67 lifetime best number. I think she can take a little bit more pressure. I'm just not sure about La Morette, even if she's going to stay in. Her dirt races need to really improve for her to kind of get in the picture. But Standard Deal off of that took a ton of pressure, went clear, gave way very grudgingly. She's probably the one to beat in race number 9.
Not too many horses in here with off-track form to go off of. Nothing good, at least, in race 9. So we're going to have to see who stays in race 9 after the scratches. Let's turn the page and look at race 10. Hopefully a bunch of the horses stay here in race 10. It's a nice maiden claiming 40,000 for 2-year-olds, going 5.5 furlongs on the main track. It was originally carded for the turf. It's a nice race, a bunch of well-bred first-time starters in here. Hopefully they stay in here. Trainer Cal Lynch has a first-time starter in here by Super Saver out of a Pollard's Vision mare. Number 7, Supervision, with some nice works here at Laurel Park. It's Sheldon Russell aboard. We caught up with Cal Lynch talking about his first-time starter, Supervision, in race 10 today.
He's a pretty straightforward horse as well. We got him at Timonium off of Dr. Eisenman, and bit of a shot. We're just taking a shot to see if he likes the turf. If it rains and comes off, he'll run either way. So, again, pretty straightforward. Doing everything right, and he's a house horse, so we own him with Dr. Tom. So it's a bit of fun. Just see what happens.
All right, so they own a piece of this horse. He has a good outside post. The 7 Supervision, my top pick here in race 10.
Had a maiden claiming first or win the other day, I believe it. Was that a 2-year-old? I'm not thinking.
Yes,
for 35.
yep.
So, yeah, barn hitting at a pretty good clip right now. Street Copper, one more great time. Clearly the 2 horses to beat. They're the most established. One more great time. Ran a really big debut. Had a couple start and stop moves. Got outside and finished up well beyond a next out winner. Street Copper was out of that race, the cheese on race. Awkward break, rail to comment. I know the 17th, 18th of June. Inside, not the greatest spots, and then return with a big try on the turf. I think the 4th and 5th place finishers came back to win, albeit on the turf. But still, one of them won up at Saratoga for Grand Motion.
The word I'm getting on the scratches here for race 10, guys. You said 1, 5, 6 are out of this race, right? One. Okay, thank you. 1, 5, 6 are scratched from race 10. So my top picks are in there. The 7 and the 2. I hope they both run. The 3 as well. Some other nice ones in here. Talking about the Jamie Ness horse, maybe on the outside. The 9, Edwin Gonzalez on the 9. Sir Brahms for blinkers on. First time Jamie Ness, a nice bullet work up there from the gate at Delaware. The 9 could be live here.
Yeah.
They keep this race on the main track. Well, now that the race is on the main track, this horse had a couple decent efforts already at Laurel and Belmont on the main track, and we are on the main track today. We're off the turf, so we'll have to see who stays in race 10, who comes out.
Yeah, a little bit of a Z pattern you see in that race. May 18th, there's a little stumble, speed, drop back, and a slight come again move. The blinkers on an outside post. I do think Sir Brahms will be kind of a little bit more forwardly placed this afternoon.
All right, that's it. We're out of time.
Yep.
Dave Rodman, he'll be coming up next with all of today's scratches and changes, so you want to make sure you tune into that because a lot of late scratches are coming in. We're off the turf today, but still a nice carryover in today's Rainbow Pick 6, a little over 6,100. That starts in race 5 on our 10-race program. Best of luck. Dave Rodman coming up next.
Good luck.